Hi everyone, it's Dorcas and welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I've shown my face on here, but we are just a couple days away from Stationery Fest hosted by Yoseka in Industry City in Brooklyn, and I feel so unprepared. So I thought that let me just get on here. I'm totally not camera ready. I am here straight from work. Um, but bear with me and we're going to get through this together. I think from what I've heard from others, everyone's kind of like, ah, trying to get ready for this event, hoping that they have everything sorted. Um, I have obviously been to quite a few stationery and pen shows in the past year, and the difference this time around is that I'm also going to be teaching. So this will be my first time teaching at one of these events. I taught classes before, but this is just like a different kind of chaos. So I am not only wanting to be prepared for my class, which thankfully is on the first day on Thursday, so then I can just enjoy the show the rest of the time. So I am going to just take you through what I'm thinking of taking just for me as an attendee. The workshop stuff I will talk to you at when I do my larger Stationery Fest video. This is more about me preparing, like what's the notebook that I'm gonna take, how I prepare for these kinds of shows. But again, it's very much a work in progress right now. So we're just gonna work with it. Um, so first up, I have my marketplace map, which it's so tiny. I kind of wish I had just printed out this part right here and blown it up. But what I've done and what I do for every show is I print out the map. I start marking down who are the vendors that I want to see, so that I can start to prioritize kind of which is the area that I want to go to first, or where am I going to be concentrating most of my time on. Um, Yoseka did release a digital, what are they calling it? I don't know, some kind of like a digital event guide. So you can actually click the link on your phone and then mark down or heart the vendors that you want to see, and it'll plop it on the map. It'll mark it on the map so that then once you're there, you can see where your favorite vendors are going to be, what's their booth number. You can expand on each of the little tables. So it'll look like this, and you can just click on each of the little tables and it'll expand to show you who's the vendor that's there, if they take cash or credit, if they have Stationery Fest exclusives. So it's a really cool app. And I like that you don't have to create an account or anything. Hopefully it'll still save in 3 days, but we'll see. But for the most part, I do always have a printed guide on me. Obviously, they'll have a guide, a booklet that you can pick up at the show, but just to be prepared, I like to have this on hand, and usually I will print it smaller so that I can add it to my planner, which is the book that I always take. I like to just fold it and add it into my book, but the thing is so tiny already, and they really try to squeeze in so much into this um, design that there was no way I was going to print this even smaller. So I have my initial list, and now that I have my initial list, by marking the people that the brands that I already know and love, I'm going to go through all of the vendors on the website and just visit their socials, see what they've been posting. Is there anything that I am excited about that I want to see? I've also been saving things on Instagram and taking screenshots. So I'm going to go through that. And then I'll just go marking in who are those other vendors that are new to me, but I'm excited about what they're going to bring to the show. So as far as my journal, so obviously I'm a one book girl, so this is the thing that I'm going to be bringing with me. The difference is that I typically, so here, this is from the Baltimore Pen Show. So you'll see that I'll print the map. and just paste it right onto here. It's more of a keepsake. It's not that I refer to this while I'm at the show. Like, I'll have it in hand, and then I'll put it in after when I'm memory keeping and journaling. But I collect stickers and stamps. There'll be plenty of those up for grab for free from many of the vendors. And I know that Yoseka is also having a little stamp rally. I'm not quite sure of the details behind the stamp rally. Like, I think there is a prize, but there's only a handful to collect throughout the show. So there's a couple at the marketplace. A spacewalk has a stamp. If you take a workshop, that's another stamp. And I can't remember where the others are, but they're nice and detailed. They're nice. They're good stamps. They're not like the little like tiny ones that you get every time you make a purchase from a vendor like there have been in past events. This is a little different, so I still have to get myself acquainted with what are the details to winning that one. But either way, other vendors are going to have their own stamps to collect. So you'll want to take a booklet or notebook or a pad to collect those stamps. So this is the partner shop's passport insert. So obviously I'm not going to use this one because this is for when I visit other travelers companies partner shops, but you can kind of get another insert that's this size or maybe the regular size to go around and collecting stamps if you don't want it to be directly on your journal or planner. Something to keep in mind is that many of these stamps will bleed through thin paper, so Tomoe River paper. I've had instances where the stamp will just bleed right through. I don't care. It is just it's part of the experience. And sometimes I'll just go in and flipping through. I'll go in and just stick a sticker on the other side of that page and it'll cover it up. So at Little Craft Fest, there were a ton of stamps to be found. And what I did, although I mean, it's so stickered up that you can't tell anymore. But I just put big old stickers where there was bleed through. So you can't even tell. Let me see, I remember the Tokubetsu Memory. So this is where the proper side of the stamp was. And then on the other side, it bled through. So I just put a bunch of stickers on here. So just something to keep in mind if you care about ruining the other side of the page where the stamp is happening. You might want to stamp it on a separate sheet of paper and then tape it in, or just use a different booklet altogether to collect your stamps. So something that I decided to do this time around, and it's something that I have seen Jazz from Cozy Travelers, she uses an accordion insert whenever she goes traveling or goes to these events, and she uses that to collect all of her stamps. Now this is the regular size from the Travel and Sketch little collection, and the accordion insert looks like this. So it folds out and then it just tucks right back into this little folder, this little folio situation. So what I'm gonna do is this time I'm gonna have this to collect all of my stamps, and then I'm going to attach it to the inside of my planner. So let me see if I can do this while holding up the book. So I'm going to tape up the back end. I'm going to attach it to my planner. So then when I want to relive the memories of Stationery Fest, I can just unravel the accordion like that. And it's thicker paper, so it'll hold up to the stamping much better. I might collect stickers on here as well, just because this is a lot of real estate. I don't know that I'm going to completely fill it up in 3 days. So I might do that. I had initially considered just taking pages from another notebook, like my Hobonichi cousin from years ago that has a bunch of blank pages, and just taping it in an accordion style so I can slip it into this A5 journal and have more space instead of dipping into the pages I have left for the rest of 2026. So that is the plan. And then I can always just kind of make notes, and I don't know if this paper might be good for fountain pen testing. I'm not sure. Again, I haven't used this one. I have two. Might as well put them to good use, right? So that is the plan for my journal. I am still considering what stationery supplies I'm going to take. Usually when I travel, I bring a ton of stuff. I bring in like 10 fountain pens because I'm crazy. I take all of my stickers and like journaling supplies because I keep thinking, well, if there's an opportunity to journal with others, if there's a meetup, I want to have all of my things with me. I also want to just journal and have my stationery for my own like use, right? So because this event is where I live, I'm lucky in that if I go on Thursday and I see that, oh wow, there are opportunities to meet up with others, to just chill, take a breather. I know there's going to be a courtyard area with meetups that are free. I can always go back on Friday with more supplies. I can have like a better intention about what I want to do with my time there. For Thursday, I am not going to bring much at all. I'm going to bring my planner, journal, a few fountain pens, uh, and yeah, I think that's it. Because day one, I know I have my workshop. That's 1 till 2:30 p.m. In the mornings, I just want to hit up the marketplace. And then after that, I'm probably going to go right back to the marketplace and then check out the meetups. I have to see the schedule, but I want to just enjoy shopping, saying hi to people that I know. And then Friday and Saturday might be a little more chill time. So that is the plan. I am still going to pack my stationery bag. So I am going to take my usual Tokidoki Hello Kitty Sanrio backpack. So if you see me, say hello because you will be receiving the sticker for Stationery Fest that I designed. So I'm going to get a little closer. There. So that'll be the sticker. So be sure to say hello if you see me, and you will get a sticker. And then those who are taking my workshop, you'll get the sticker regardless. So I will be bringing that in my backpack. And I love that backpack. I always use that backpack for my shows because it's like a slim profile. It's very compact. I don't have to worry about knocking things around when I am passing by tables. So if you have a backpack, just be really mindful of, you know, your surroundings. You don't want to knock someone things over. I mean, heaven forbid you're at a spacewalk and then you knock over a bunch of glass dip pens. Like, I will want the earth to just swallow me. Another thing I like to bring, just grab it, is a tote bag. So this is the tote bag from Stationery Fest in 2024. I love the design. I actually love this design more than this year's design. It's just so vibrant and colorful, and I love the little people. It's so cute. I know there's a tote bag for this year, obviously, as well as a bunch of other merch. But I'm going to be taking this one. The only thing that I wish this tote bag had was some kind of pocket, like an exterior pocket or an interior pocket, because I will have my backpack and that will have the things that I've been buying. But for in the moment, I am just stuffing everything in a tote bag. I have my planner in here, so it's easy to kind of pop in, put it right back, you know, take it out, put it in. I have my wallet in here, my phone, just everything that I need easily accessible is in here. If I'm buying something is going into this tote bag, and then when I have a chance, I'll organize it and put it in my backpack. So this is the one I'll be bringing. I have others that have a pocket outside. I have Coffee Monsters Co. ones. These are the Coffee Monsters Co. tote bags that I have. So you see how there is a little pocket back here, as well as inside there is another little zip pocket. And same with this, there is a pocket on the outside and then a pocket on the inside, and it just keeps things from falling all the way to the bottom and getting lost. So because I am, you know, more loyal to the brand and the look of it, you know, I want to rep my Stationery Fest tote bag. I'm just gonna deal with it and take this one anyway. So that is a must. Definitely bring a tote bag, even if it's like a little bagoo one that you'll roll up and keep in your backpack. Just have some kind of extendable storage, because you'll be surprised how quickly you will fill up your stuff. It has snacks, water bottle. Definitely bring a water bottle. Bring a water bottle. And just like just a bunch of stuff, you know, you're going to be collecting swag from other people. There'll be opportunities to trade. So you'll start just collecting crap over the course of the day. So definitely have more stores than you think you'll need. That said, lots of vendors are going to be selling tote bags. So if it comes down to it, you can always find a tote bag. So as far as what I'm putting inside my backpack, I have my Hobonichi. Which one is this one? Is this the, I think this is a small drawer pouch. I think this is the small drawer pouch. I won't go through everything that's in here because it's really similar to what I took for Little Craft Fest. It's, you know, my usual writing utensils, ruler, Tombow markers, brush pens, you know, those kinds of things. And even this is probably going to get pared down to what I'll end up bringing on day one, because again, I do not want to be super bulky. I also have this little zipper pouch. This is less stationery and more just life essentials. So I have, and in this one, I have this one as well. So it's more like hand sanitizer, tissues, lactate pills, lip balm, mirror, things like that. And in here, I'll have my mask, and then just kind of like little soaps to keep my hands clean. So that's usually what I keep in this. And my wallet is in here as well, which we'll talk about money in a second. But that's what I keep in here, just because when I swap backpacks, which I do fairly often, I can just take this and put it in the new bag. So it's kind of those little backpack organizers, but I just use these pouches. Something else that I am bringing are some new washi cards. So this is also great if you want to swatch somebody's washi. If you are splitting washi with a friend, I know some people like to kind of, each friend buys a different roll of washi or pet tape. Definitely do this with pet tape because those loops are long. I would just grab one of these or a couple of these, so then you can just like each get a different design, but you've only paid for one washi roll. So this is a great way to share washi tapes with each other. I also am bringing, so I mentioned this is my Hurlstone pouch. And in here I have the fountain pens that I've been using for the week in my journal. And I also have this pen, which I might not bring on Thursday, but on, I think Saturday, I have a nib grinding appointment with Kirk Spear of Pen Realm. It'll be my first one with him. And I'm going to have him grind down my Peloton. it's time. It is just way too broad for me. So he's gonna do that, but I might not need to take it those first 2 days. I'm gonna save this for the final day. So let's talk money. One, have a budget. Uh, I this is a do as I say, not as I do. I definitely go in with a budget in mind, but there have been many times when I've blown right past it. This time, I don't know. I feel so unprepared in terms of what I want or need or what I'm looking for, um, that I am kind of concerned. But I do know that many of these vendors are ones that I've already seen earlier this year. So I want to pay more attention to newer ones that, weren't at Little Craft Fest and Chicago Stationery Fest and Baltimore Pet Show, Philly Pen Show, all of those places. Um, I'm also going to the DC Pen Show, San Francisco Pen Show. I'm going to the Spooky Little Craft Fest, Empire State Pen Show. So I'm going to see these people again, and so I don't want to keep supporting. I love my people though. I don't want to keep supporting the same people, right? I want to just spread the love. So that's what, this is going to be for, where I want to say hi to my people. I want to like shower them with love and appreciation, but I want to pay more attention to those that I have never met, because I might come across someone that, or a shop that I'm going to fall in love with. So have a budget in mind. And some people like to just have cash. So, and then there are some vendors that prefer credit over cash because it's easier. They don't have to worry about change. So be versatile in what you take to the show. Definitely have some cash on hand. And some people like to just do cash. And once the money is gone, that's how they keep themselves on track with their budget. Um, I did find I've done both. I've done all cash, I've done all credit, I've done a combination of both. And my thing is, when I have done cash, it's hard for me to then remember what things cost. And I don't have a record of, oh wow, that cost this thing. Because if you buy multiple things at one table, you just get the lump sum, right? You didn't really see how much that sticker sheet actually cost. Whereas when you do a credit card, sometimes they will itemize the receipt. Sometimes it's just the lump sum and you just have one charge. But I still like to see, like, oh, I spent this amount at this shop, I spent this amount at that shop. A way to go about it, if you want to stick with the cash method, is after every purchase, being diligent about writing, I spent this much at this table. You can even write it on your map or in your little directory. I saw that someone did that after Little Craft Fest. They just wrote down the purchase amount for each of the vendors that they visited, and then they totaled how much it was for the day, how much it was for the event entirely. So whatever method works for you, just stick to it. When I've mixed and matched, it's been a hot mess. And then I'm like, I don't remember how much I spent. Um, I do. Like, then I look at the charges. You can always look at the charges on your credit card or your bank app. Uh, so you'll still know. But with cash, once it's gone, and you won't have a record unless you've been good about writing it down. Other things to remember to bring are, obviously, I've already mentioned snacks. I've mentioned a refillable water bottle. There will be water stations around. There's also, in this particular space, Industry City, is going to have a lot of different eateries and other shops and vendors that are just part of the complex. So it'll be easy to find food. The only thing is that if you are not a VIP pass holder, you won't be able to go get food and then come back into the show. There's no re-entry for those who have a timed entry ticket. So just be mindful of that. Either eat before you get there or eat after. I don't remember what the policy is regarding food. There's going to be a courtyard there. I think definitely, I think a water bottle is you're able to bring it. I just don't remember the thing about food. So I'm bringing snacks anyway because I mean, I'm gonna be in there for hours. Even though I have VIP pass, I will probably just still be in there for hours unless I find people who want to like go hang out and just grab a bite to eat. I will have friends there and they're very good at keeping me accountable to eating and drinking enough water. So uh, bear that in mind. I'm trying to think what else you need to bring. Yes, bring stuff for a D-stash table. There's going to be a kind of a community area where you can drop off the stationery that's been collecting dust in your house, and just bring it so that somebody else can use it. It's kind of like take it or kind of grab and go if there's stuff there that you want to bring back with you. That's also a possibility. I usually end up taking more than I leave. So just be aware of that. I am going to be creating some uh, like washi cards to just leave out there. Just as another way of just spreading some stationery love in the community. I'm probably going to be doing the same for my workshops, just having some of these washi cards so that people can share amongst themselves, like if they have washi that they want to swap with each other. I have like a whole pack of these that I recently bought, so there will be plenty for my students to grab, which I'm really excited. Yeah, something else that's going to be at Stationery Fest has like all the things, I swear. Um, there's going to be like I don't know how many bottles of ink are going to be there for the swatching. So bring something to swatch the inks. I think they said that there are going to be like tools to use to swatch them, but I might still bring my little glass dip pen and ink muddler that I got from Fountain Pendulum last year. And then a little notebook. I don't know that I'm going to be swatching it directly into my ink swatch book because I this is for inks that I actually own. So this might stay, but again, that might be a good use of this accordion uh, insert. Maybe I can reserve, you know, a couple of these spreads just to go through and do the ink swatching. But that is going to be something I do toward the tail end of stationery, I feel. I think I'm going to really focus Thursday on just doing all the shopping. Also, well, if there are exclusives or like hot ticket items, I want to get those first day because there's the possibility that the vendors might sell out of stuff later on in the weekend. I mean, I know some like to reserve some merchandise for each day so that those that go on Saturday still have stuff to buy. But just in case, I just want to do it all on Thursday. Um, Last year, no, not last year, in 2024, when they had their first stationery fest, I just had one day because I had work. I just reserved one day for Stationery Fest and I went hard. I went so hard. I came home, got sick, and I got COVID. Like it was all the things. It was awful. Would not recommend going that hard again. So I'm going to spread out my time over the 3 days. I'm going to know so many more people this time, which is going to be so fun and so much more of a social engagement for me. I'm really excited. Last time I went with my good friend, and I knew some people. I had just started my little planner group. I think a couple months before, so I knew them. Uh, but this time it's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. And then I'm gonna see my students, and I'm gonna know some of them as well. And it's just gonna be hopefully way more community oriented than it was when I went last time. Last time it was my first event of this kind for me. and I was just it was like stimulation overload. There was just a lot of things to see. It was super crowded. This is like triple the size, but hopefully triple the space. Um, and there's going to be a lot more spaces to just sit and chill, I hope. I also know they sold like 10,000 tickets. Like, I don't know, something crazy. So it really, it's gonna, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this goes. Hopefully it's all good. I also have like exciting news that I'll share later on in the socials after the show. But we'll do a little recap, and I think you're all gonna enjoy what's coming. Something else that I forgot to mention that you might want to consider is, even if you're not giving like a free sticker away or free washi tape or, swatch cards or anything, don't stress about like, oh my God, I have to have something to give away. Like, people were hand making loads of things at little craft fests, bracelets, etc. I think the more important thing is finding ways to continue the connection after the event is over. So even though, yes, I created a sticker, something that I've done, let me take one out because that one doesn't have it yet, is that I added my contact in the back of the stickers that I will be giving. So I put my website, and then there is my Instagram handle so that people are still able to find me after the event is over. And so, even, I mean, you can also just swap your Instagram handles or TikTok or what have you, so that you can just continue the conversations, especially if you find someone who is from where you are, or if you're online together, which you will be online for a while at many times throughout the weekend. Trust that. So it's just fun to start to chat with the person who, or the people who are in front of you or right behind you. I've met people that way. And even if it's just in that moment, because you're about to see this vendor that you're really excited about, or you're, just sitting at a table and there's just space around, do not feel shy about just saying hi, about saying like, oh, where did you get that thing? Or I love your tote. It's just like these little conversation starters are so much easier in these spaces because you already have something in common, your love of stationery. So, and also, people are super friendly. People, for the most part, want to talk about stationery with someone because back home, they do not have this. They do not have such easy access to the community. So take advantage of the free meetups. There's still spaces in some workshops. Sign up for them. There's just like so many opportunities to engage with others, chat, connect. I have friends like all over this country, just because I do these YouTube videos, but also like I keep in touch. I like, I heart their Instagram posts. I like view their stories. When you send me messages, I respond. So it's just nice because then when you go back to those places, those events, you already have an in to like a social circle there. I have people in San Francisco that I'm excited to. I actually have to tell them that I'm going back to San Francisco. I need to do that. But yeah, just like say hello to people. Will be more than happy to say hi. They're probably also shy and wanting to connect in some way. So, be the first one to say hello. So I think that's it for me for now. This was actually really helpful for me. I needed to like kind of get the nerves and the jitters out. Um, I have my all of my class kits are set and ready to go. It's now Tuesday evening. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I as an instructor, I get to go early to drop off my supplies, get a look at the classroom so I have like a better idea of the lay of the land. I'm actually going to go with Galen from Fountain Pendulum, so I'll get to see her, and maybe I'll get to sneak in and see some of the other vendors. One of them does have some things for me to pick up for my class on Thursday, but I think I'm going to spend the rest of the day doing my research. This is the best kind of research, though, I will say. Doing my research on vendors, kind of prioritizing my list, who has what I would like. And yeah, I wish us all the best of luck. I I want to say I have an idea of what's coming, but I don't, because this is so massive. The stationery event is so big. It is going to be the biggest stationery event, I think, in the country. Definitely that I've been here. I mean, this list is crazy. This list is wild. Um, so no panicking. We will get through this. It'll be fun. Just pace yourselves and tell yourself, if you don't get this thing that you've been wanting, there will be other opportunities. Lots of vendors are gonna have little online sales, so you can always just get stuff online after. There might even be some vendors that I'm just gonna go straight for, wait for when it's online, instead of trying to get on, on the long line and then have it be sold out and stressing. It'll be okay. It's just stationery, but it's exciting. So I understand the anxiety, the excitement, the thrill, the panic, the fears, the confusion. Um, I get it all, and it'll be fun. It'll be okay. And just remember that it's about the people who are going to be there. It's about the community. It's about meeting the people behind the designs and illustrations that you love. Say hi to them. They're still people. So, yeah. So, with that, I'm going to sign off for now. I will be obviously going around doing my absolute best to film during the event. Hopefully, it is not absolute chaos. But then I will be returning with some special guests later on to recap what Stationery Fest was like for each of us. So, more on that to come, probably on socials. And yeah, tell me in the comments below if you are going to Stationery Fest. Please say hello if you see me. I would love to meet you. And tell me what you're bringing. Tell me what you're excited to do, see. Are you taking workshops? Help me. Help me prioritize my 3 days there. So I will see you all soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.